Hello and good afternoon, my lovely ladies. I hope you're all doing well. I am embarking on making a new journal, and I'm calling it at the moment my Clematis journal. And the inspiration are from the pages of this book called Flowers of the World by Frances Perry. I really love this book. There's so many beautiful images, and I believe this is my fourth journal where I used pages from this book, in particular the cover pages for this book, as well as, ephemera within the journal. But my fourth one where I used actually the pages as a cover for the journal. So I wanted to focus on the beautiful clematis, and usually they come in these beautiful pinks and purples. And what I like about this book is that it's a big book, right? This is a full page from the book, and you can easily just fold it over. And that's kind of the size of your journal. So I think it's a good size just based on the pages of the book. So not only does it have beautiful images, but the page size really works for a journal size. So like I said, I wanted to call it the Clematis Journal. So I picked out a page with obviously the clematis plant. So this is the front cover. And I had to kind of collage a couple images in order to make the front page, because for a cover, I want the least amount of text as possible. Like for an inner page, I loved having books text showing up in inner pages, but on the cover, I like to minimize the text. So I had to collage a couple of images together. So this image from the book, also this image from the book, I put it together. And there was a third image from a different book of a clematis plant as well. And there was some text here, so I thought I'd just cover that up. And like I said, this came from a different book. So this is my cover page. And then my next step was to figure out the inner page of a journal, right? So I wanted to stick with the theme of purples and pinks. So I pull this page, but there's a lot of text within this page. So essentially what I'm trying to do is, this is my cover page. I'm going to stick it onto a paper bag. So usually what I've been using for my journals is paper bags from stores from the mall. So for example, I just have this on hand, a paper bag, say from this store, Uniqlo. I've got a paper bag from, Simon's, or, this is also a good one from Muji. So what I'll do is I'll stick the cover onto the paper bag, and then on the other side, obviously, is the inner page, right? So I'm in the process right now of making the inner cover and collaging it, the inner cover, so that it's mainly images and less text. So that's where I'm at. So what I like to do is, I've already torn out a lot of pages from this book, and I want to utilize the pages from the book for the inner cover. But I couldn't find a page that was mainly images. So for example, this is a page from the book that is a big chunk of it is images of flowers. I could have used this as an inner cover, but I think it's so beautiful that it should really be an outer cover. So I'm trying to save these pages for a different journal, using it as a cover page, for example. So I'm going to put this aside. And so I decided on this purple flower I thought would work well as part of the inner cover. So I wanted it to cover all the text here. So in my mind, I thought, why don't I just collage this inner cover so that I'm covering all this text. So that's where I'm at with this. So I pulled out a couple of images from the book. And I definitely have been eyeing this image for a while. I've been saving this image to use in a journal. I think this is a perfect journal for it because of the purple color. So I thought I would put that in here. So I had already decided that I wanted to use this image in the book. Okay. And I already kind of fussy cut part of it so that it fits in this journal. So there's still a lot of text. I wanted it to be kind of pinks and purples. So this was a nice pink image, and it just lends itself to kind of this bottom left-hand side. So I thought I would put that here to cover this text, okay? And I could have just left it at that. So how this is gonna look, right, is, you know, this is, you know, it's gonna, signatures are gonna fall here, but when you open up the page, you will still see a lot of text, which is fine because it's mainly decorated in the bottom, top, and the sides. But I thought I'd just really cover up more of the text. So I, you know, pulled out a couple of options here to cover the text. And I was just in process of deciding. So this would be too small and there's a lot of text. This is a possibility. In the middle, what do you guys think? Okay. This is also a possibility. Do you see what I'm trying to do here? So that is also a possibility. Let's see what else I have here. And this is also a possibility, except that it's too, I think, you know, I want to use as the least amount of pieces as possible for the cover and inner pages, just to ensure that everything stays intact and there's less gluing involved. So I don't think this is going to work. There's just too much text still in that. Did I already? Yeah, we tried. That's a possibility. And then I also have this page. So size-wise, I think this would work in terms of covering most of the text. And I think this will also work here. Except that I think that the red color clashes a bit with the pink and the purples. And I think this is a neutral. But for some reason, I don't think the design works, the way the flower is hanging down. I just don't think the design works. And again, this image here has too much text. So I think the yellow color works better. I think this will work. Okay, let's just see if this works. If I put that there, put this, kind of cover as much of the text as possible. That works. And like I said, I want to use the least amount of pieces as possible. And I want to put that out here. And although it's very bare here, we can just add more to that space potentially at a latter stage of making this inner cover. But for now, my objective is just to cover as much text as possible. So I think I like the way this is looking. Okay, I like the way this is looking a lot. So again, inner cover, you open it up. I love this front inner cover. Now the back inner cover, this is a good image on the bottom right, and I'm thinking, should I leave it and really feature that green on the leaf? Or I already fussy cutted this image, or should I just go cover it up? You know what? I think I'm just going to cover it up because I spent the effort cutting that leaf. But no, I think it works really well. And what I also did here, if you notice, I kind of cut it so that you can maximize that image of that leaf, but still cover the text behind. If I do that way, there's still a bit of text here. I could leave it. It's a small amount of text, but I've got some scrap paper here. Maybe we cover it up. We'll see. So this is, you know, scrap paper from the same book. So, you know, we'll see if we, well, see if that will cover up the text. Okay. Okay, I have a piece of scrap paper already that I cut out earlier. I think this works a little bit better if I go like that. right? See what I'm trying to do? Cover the text, and then this is the piece I just cut out right now. A bit of text, but if I flip it over, see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to just cover, where did it go? The text. And I can see a bit of text peeking out here. So I'm just trying to cover as much text as possible so that the emphasis is on the flower. Let's see if this works. Okay. I think that's gonna work. So how is this going to work? What do I glue on first? Obviously, this is at the top. I glue this on later. I'm winging this, guys. Oh my God, there's so much pressure. And yep, maybe I do this, glue this on next. Like I said, minimal pieces as possible. What I'm gonna try to do, I think that's where, yeah, because there's text here. So I'm just gonna line it up this way. We're gonna just go for it. Live on camera. Oh my God, the pressure. Okay, I think I like that. And I'm gonna be sewing the edges, but I'm kind of a bit OC about making sure there's glue right on the edge of that. So I'm just gonna take out some parchment paper and just make sure first off that that's glued at the edge. And then I really, as you guys all know, so then I'm just gonna glue this. As you guys all know, or if you don't know, I'm a rookie junk journaler, by the way. This is new. So I'm just winging a lot of what I'm doing now, but using, why do you ask? I use a glue stick on the edge and the Tombow Mono Aqua Glue in the middle. There is no rhyme or reason to it. There really isn't. It's just me making up my own rules as I go and learn about making journals. So, oh my God, is it going the right way? Okay, yeah. So that covered up. Kind of want it to move closer here. Oh my goodness, there's kind of the edges. How is that looking, guys? Is that good? Okay. Okay, so now where's my bone folder? So like I said, in terms of, I think this is kind of laying on here really well. In terms of, I know the edges, I'm going to be sewing that, so I'm not too worried about the edges. And potentially I will clean up these edges and maybe trim that to clean that up later on. But for now, I just wanted to do this collage. I thought it's a fun thing too. I love doing collage. Just started doing master boards and taking a stab at that. And I'm finding it very relaxing to do collage. So I thought it would work well to show you my process here. What do I do next, guys? So there's text showing here. So I wanted to maybe cover that up first, kind of right around here, right? So let me do that. And like I said, there's no kind of technique here. It's just me gluing things on and hoping for the best. Please cooperate. Okay. So let's see. Does that, I think that covers up the text. Let's see how that goes. Okie dokie. And then if we put that back on, is that covered? Ooh, that covered. That really solved that problem. It covered all the text. I don't need the second strip. Okay, that works out really well. You know what? Can I go ahead and glue this? Is this what I want to do? think so. You know what I'm looking at? It's this piece here. Do I want to cut it off and kind of go like this? Or go all the way down there? I think I would like to go, I don't mind covering this bit of green, but I don't want it to go all the way to the end, so I'm going to cut it around here. And I'm going to just give it like a rounded kind of edge. Like I just don't want it to be like a sharp edge. And see how that, just put this aside for now. See how that works for now. Do I? Yep, so now I see kind of like the whole leaf here. And I don't mind, like I said, this going over this leaf because I want to, I like seeing, you know, the long leaves on both sides. So I think I'm good with that. And I'm gonna, one more time, and I'm gonna put that over there. Just wanna see if this still works. Yes, so I think I can glue this on. Okay, let's just see how this works. You know, I used to use glue sticks, like 100%. And now I'm discovering liquid glue. And I'm loving it. Loving this Tombow Mono Aqua Glue. It just makes kind of gluing things a lot easier because it's in this handy container. But I'm still kind of testing out different kinds of glue and what works best for whatever I'm doing. Definitely not an expert on glue. But I'm just going for it here. Oh my goodness. Okay, please let this, oops, whoopsie. And I just want it to stick to like the edge and that. And again, I can clean up the edges later and make it, you know, straight and nice. But, you know, when I clean that up and cut it, I don't want to cut a lot of the image, so I'm trying to align it as much as possible right now as I'm doing this. And then just give that a bit of a, oh, please stay there. Whew, okay, that seemed to have worked. I need a sip of my tea. All right, edges looking good. And after this, once this is all collage, I'm going to put this underneath the book so everything presses flat. So now the last piece is, where was the last piece? This piece here. What I'm seeing right now is this sharp edge. What if I do a rough fussy cut on this? There's no text in the, you know what, I'm going to do that because there's no text in the back. It's an image, and then it gets rid of this super straight line. So I'm just going to do, I already fussy cutted it here, but I think I need to do it, and you'll see what I'm doing. See what I mean by just cutting this like so. We're gonna make it like a rough. What does a rough fussy cut mean? It means, and I'm defining this myself as we go, it means I'm not cutting to the very edge of the image. I'm leaving a bit of kind of the cream paper intact. Let's just see how this is working. Yeah, it's still no text underneath, so it will work. Okay, so if I just kind of go like this, just so you know the edges are kind of rounded rather than rather than that straight line. So if you see here, before it was this straight line, and now it's kind of nice kind of rounded edges. And then you see, wow, that worked out really well. More of the image in the back. What happens if I cut more? It doesn't really, it's still just a blank. Dang, that worked out really well, wow. And what if I fussy cut more? You know what? I think I'll just do a little bit more even here so you can see more of the yellow flower in the background. And then see if this works. Okay, like I said, just trying to get kind of rounded edges. How did that look? I can almost even cut it exactly a sharper cut, meaning closer to the actual image. But I think I like this. I think I like how this has turned out. If I cut this a bit more, then you see more of that green flowing down. So maybe I will cut a little bit more here. Oops. I just want to see round edges all around without having to show text. And kind of a bit down there. So how does that look? Okay, how about here? Also perfect. I see more of the green image flowing down. And see here how that leaf, I want to show more of that leaf flowing through the bottom here. So I'm just gonna like do a curved, again, a curved cut. And a bit more, so I see more of that leaf, even more of that leaf. So maybe more of a curve there. Yeah, now I see the leaf, the full leaf. Do I need just a little bit more on the curve here? Do you guys see me? Yes, you do see me. Okay. Now I see the full leaf here, already covered. Unfortunately, this is already not. Maybe I can cut some of this off. Maybe not. Maybe it's too late. Can I cut some of this so I see a bit more of the leaf? Maybe not. Maybe a little bit, just a little bit more. Just kind of maybe, maybe should have thought about that a little bit better earlier, but we're gonna try doing this, okay? It's not perfect, and I don't want to cut any more because the glue is already starting to stick, so at least it's a curved edge. Now I'm gonna glue this on. I think it's gonna work out just fine. Okay, so what I want to do is glue the edges with my glue stick. And, you know, like I said, I'm not sure how I came up with this technique and why I'm doing it this way, but we're just doing it. I love this. How the glue just pops out of this wonderful container for the Tombow Mono Aqua Glue. Okay, I think that's enough glue. Or is it? Like I said, my main concern is making sure the edges are sticking properly so that it stays intact, the edges, I mean. And I still haven't found the right formula on how to do that, which is why I'm doing the glue stick plus liquid glue combo. So I hope, oh my goodness, please let the edges kind of line up. Oh, wow. Did that line up? Oh, my goodness. What is this? Oops. That does not belong there. So how does that look right now? How does that look? Wow, okay. I think I like the way that turned out. Whew, that was a bit nerve-wracking for me doing that live, collaging live. I mean, doing just a relaxing collage is one thing, but a collage for the inner cover where I had to position things and make sure I was maximizing the images was a bit nerve-wracking. But I love the way this turned out. I hope you like the way it turned out as well. And I hope you like this video. So that's it for today. Like and subscribe. Bye for now.